Alright fam, week 52 of 52. My name is Henrik and this is ValisMobilityVideo 52. The last time I'm doing a mobility video, so making this one long and worthwhile. Today you may follow along in a very long, close to 15-minute routine from my home, from my apartment, just doing various stretches. First move today is a so-called skier. You notice me sitting on my knees, giving it a very slow start. Today is a slow video. Number 2 movement of the day is a simple puppy dog, up dog flow. My knees are on the ground. I'm just rocking back and forth. As minimal effort as possible. This is a long video. This is the last time I'm doing one of these videos, so trying to stay fully present and just appreciating every minute. Rocking back and forth in a puppy dog to an up dog flow. Staying in this butt back position, letting your hands slide from side to side. Calling these ones puppy dog lateral slides. By now, maybe you understand that lateral is Latin for sideways. Great way to stretch out the lats and get some trunk bending to the sides while your hips remain locked back. Staying on your knees, we are in a so-called quadruped position, meaning I have at one point all 4 of my limbs in contact with the ground. Placing my left hand in a disco position behind the head, rotating up, isolating the upper back, the so-called thoracic spine or the T-spine. 5 rotations per side. This is one of the few stretches you can do regardless of clothing. You will not break any pair of pants doing this. You can do it, in fact, wearing a tight shirt, no problem. Loosening up the stiff upper back, we all have it. We spend way too much time with computers and our phones. Alright, going super lazy. Lying down, face down. In strength training terminology, this is called prone, where your back is up against the roof and your belly is against the ground. I'm doing a leg lift rotation. You see, I got my shoulders squared up, so the rotation takes place further down in the back along with the hips. Moving as far to the sides as possible, attempting to rotate away from you while keeping your shoulders glued onto the ground. This is a good dynamic warm-up. Today I'm going with very little intensity, but it's a very nice way to loosen up your spine before going after either a training session or just compressing, chilling or decompressing from whatever you did. Taking it one step further, lying on our backs this time. In strength training terminology, we can call this a supine position. Lying on your back, attempting to keep your shoulders glued onto the ground. You'll see kind of mine lifting just a little bit. Letting your leg up and then fall to the side. This will feel very good in your lower back and in your hips. I'm doing 5 reps per side, that is a total 10 reps. You may do the same and just feel whatever good things are happening from your waist down. Few more reps. If you've been with me from the beginning, you probably noticed that the video format is a 5-minute flow. Today I am changing up that formula just a little bit to get the most out of this last episode. episode. So, part 1 will finish shortly with just one more simple move, then I will change focus just a little bit. Move number 7 of today, last one of the first part of this video, is a so-called cat-cow. We're basically aiming for maximum spinal flexion and extension, rounding your back and arching your back. You should feel these vertebrae by vertebrae from the bottom to the top of the spine, the neck down through the thoracic spine, down to the lumbar back. If all you have is 5 minutes, we are happy with this part. For those of you who may want to stick around a bit longer, I have some middle splits variations for you. We are working our adductors in one of my favorite movements, the Cossack squats. Meaning one leg is straight, the other is bent, and I do 10 alternating reps. This has become one of my staples. In fact, if you gotta choose between 5 movements, this will definitely be one of those. Strong, flexible hips will mean less harm, less of an impact on your lower back. Opening up and strengthening the long muscles on the inside of your legs. Aiming to get your butt back and down close to the ground. And those were 10 reps. Now, taking a step back from the adductors, we're just working some more spine, some classic good old stretches. Up dog to down dog yoga flow. This is also one of my favorites. I'm always coming back to this one. They just feel so good. As you go back up, butt up in the air, you feel stretch on your back sides, there's hamstrings, upper back, shoulders. As you bring your chest up, you will feel your anterior side of the body, that is your front. Loving these. However, not so much I am loving this. This is a dreaded pigeon position. I call it the pigeon flow of death. Anytime my knee bends at a 45-degree or to 90-degree angle and I'm getting that full hip glute stretch, bent leg in front of me, I get the shivers. Pigeon position, great for the hips too. I always avoid them. I'm pledging not to avoid them in 2021. Right leg plus the left leg, bring the knee down close to the ground and try to stay active doing other things. Don't just focus on the pain in your hips. So you may do some good mornings, folding at the hips. You may do after that some more variations, bringing your hands down, letting them slide laterally, aiming to spend some time in this position. Moving on, I'm bringing forth some props. I'm using a bench because I have now got my full home gym. You can use anything, a chair, a couch, and we enter the kneeling position that is on our knees, and we aim to get full shoulder flexion, that is arms up overhead, and aiming to stretch that upper back T-spine as well. I'm spending a minute in this position, and if you look closely on my spine, you'll see me playing around with different positions, rounding, arching, shifting how the stretch works, be it in the shoulders, be it in the back. Just trying to relax, rock back and forth, bend, flex, extend. You can play around. Getting comfortable in this position has been a challenge for me with my history of shoulder dislocations. just being wary of shoulders being possibly uncomfortable. Santa Claus hat on. We're now doing a more advanced stretch, which I picked up fairly recently. So once you have lengthened your hips on the inside, next step is then of course to be strong also on the outside. Same principle applies anywhere in the body. Lengthen the front, strengthen the back. Lengthen the inside, then strengthen the outside. If you want more flexibility and safer, more resilient body, you should also work strength in the end range of motion. So this is a peeing dog. You'll see me lifting my knee up, aiming for fairly neutral angles, and then lifting statically as high as I can, lifting the knee, aiming to keep the knee and foot in the same angle, but you see me kind of struggling a bit here, my foot lifting a bit too much. Simple formula, roughly 5 seconds on, 5 seconds off. You will feel these in the outside of your hips. Repeating 5 times, 1 more time, then we are off to a more difficult variation. That was peeing dog, short lever. Now time for the next step. If you're ready for it, get your straight leg up on the bench, on the chair, on the couch, and let's do the long lever, that is English for hävarm. Peeing dog, letting your leg rest for 5 seconds, lifting it for 5 seconds, and repeating 5 times. So, with new range of motion, we have a new need for strength in that new range of motion. This is a great way to build body awareness and strength in the recently acquired metal splits mobility, which I have accumulated and got this year. So, same thing on my left leg, trying to square your shoulders up, if possible, square your hips up too, but it won't be possible depending on the height. Lifting my left leg up as high as I can, trying to stay neutral. 5 seconds on, 5 seconds resting, repeating 5 times. 1 more leg lift, and we let the leg down. Okay team, to finish off this beautiful 52-week mobility project, I'm gonna finish this video off with 5 minutes of me relaxing in the middle splits position. Spending some time here, I sped this up 3 times the speed. So this will be the last 2 minutes of the film, if I do my math correctly. And as you stretch, as you get active, there's also a need for recovery stretching. This would translate into yin yoga or something relaxing. You could change between active and passive positions. Here, I'm trying to press something away from me, doing sort of a kontraktion, avslappning, töjning, contraction, relaxation, and stretching kind of thing. Pushing it away from me, creating new ranges of motion, and relaxing afterwards, gradually increasing. This is partially for added range of motion, but also for recovery and blood flow to the hips and to the body. Doing some bending of the trunk and T-spine extension while bending. Left side, right side. I just need to spend time in this middle splits position, because that's going to be one of my goals and things I want to achieve in the upcoming 5 or 6 years. Full on middle splits. And that's it. That's all I have for you folks. This was week 52 of a 52-week video project I called Valis Mobility Video. Task is officially done. For your time, I say thank you very much. If you found it useful, recommend it to a friend, and I hope to see you again on an interweb or in real life. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely day. Bye bye. Haha!